Welcome. You may have been drawn to what the thumbnail image conveys, and I understand if you weren't expecting a conversation between a father and son about feelings. But what the couple in the image represents is built on something very concrete: the ability to face our feelings in a mature, conscious, and honest way. The content of this video may be more relevant to you and your life than you might first think. In this video, we're going to talk about feelings, what they really are, why they don't need to be solved but felt, and how the 6 core feelings can help you understand yourself and your needs. Let's begin.
Now it's time to dive into feelings. But what are feelings, really? It often feels like everything inside me is one big messy package.
That's a very honest observation. What we usually call feelings is rarely a single emotion. What people call feelings is often not just one thing. It's a mixture of thoughts and interpretations, memories and reactions, associations and emotions, all woven together into one experience.
So when I say I feel lonely, that's not necessarily a feeling.
Loneliness is often a state. It can contain emotions, such as sadness or fear. And it can contain thoughts, like I'm not wanted, nobody cares about me, I will always be lonely.
Then how do I find what I truly feel underneath?
By making it simpler. Instead of trying to name the whole package, we try to connect with one of our core emotions.
Which ones?
The joy that lifts you and brings light. The sadness that softens you. The fear that warns you. The anger that tells you something is important. The disgust that protects you from what could harm you. And the surprise that can be overwhelming, but can also open your eyes. These are like primary colors. Most experiences are different combinations of these, just as certain colors consist of a combination of primary colors. In addition, our experiences are usually colored by our thoughts, interpretations, associations, physical sensations, and bodily or mental memories. Some claim that there are more than 40 feelings, but these are not emotions or core feelings, they are experiences or emotional states composed of both core emotions and thoughts. Examples of this are feeling helpless or feeling hurt. These are not core feelings in themselves, but experiences made up of one or more emotions, along with thoughts and interpretations.
So if I can name one of the core feelings, I'm closer to something important?
Indeed. And when you connect with what you are truly feeling on a deeper level, you also come closer to what you actually need.
Okay, but why are feelings connected to what I need?
Because core feelings are indicators. They point toward what is pleasant or unpleasant for you, and often toward what matters.
But you also said earlier that feelings are the body's reaction to thoughts. So, which is it?
Both can be true. Feelings can be signals about needs, and they can also be your body reacting to interpretations. That's why awareness matters. If you don't recognize what is the result of your interpretation and what is connected to what you actually need, it becomes difficult to reach what you need or to function in a way that benefits you in the long run.
So I don't need to solve my feelings or get rid of them when I feel something uncomfortable. I need to understand them?
Even more simple. You need to feel them and have the courage to be with them, not only on a cognitive or mental level, but to genuinely stop and be with them. Let's do a small exercise. If I may ask you to close your eyes, breathe a little deeper in through your nose and slowly out through your mouth, and try to connect with what you are feeling right now or with what you felt in a situation that was challenging for you. Don't describe the story your thoughts create. The question is, what do you feel as a basic feeling? If you think of a situation that was difficult for you, try to truly go back to that situation in your mind and notice what you actually feel now as you think about it, and what you felt back then. Try to truly be present with yourself and ask, or feel within your body. Do you feel joy or sadness? Or could what you are feeling be fear or anger? Or perhaps even disgust or surprise? Pick the closest one. And if you do not have a clue what you actually feel, it is okay to begin by trying to guess. Now open your eyes.
That was surprisingly hard. My mind wanted to explain everything.
Exactly. Most people answer, "What do you feel?" by telling you what they think. So if this is hard, be gentle and understanding with yourself.
But if I can name the core feeling, life becomes simpler?
Indeed. The door to what you need opens when you connect with what you feel on a deeper level.
But some feelings feel unacceptable, like fear, anger, or sadness.
Many people label feelings as good or bad. But feelings are not good or bad. They are just information.
So no feeling is inherently negative?
Not inherently. Your thoughts might label it as negative. But the feeling itself is simply a feeling.
What happens if I label a feeling as something negative and avoid it?
It becomes like trying to hold a balloon underwater. It takes effort. And sooner or later the feeling resurfaces, often stronger, and becomes the reason you behave in ways that don't support you and your life, but rather the opposite. For example, aggression and harshness are most often unacknowledged fear or sadness.
And if I suppress anger?
It often leaks out as aggression, sarcasm, coldness, or it turns inward as tension. Suppressed feelings rarely disappear. They transform or become stronger.
So the more I avoid a feeling, the more it controls me?
Often, yes. Avoidance often looks like trying to control yourself, and eventually trying to control the people and situations around you, which only pulls you further from what you really need.
You also said feelings are interconnected. What does that mean in practice?
If you suppress sadness, you often also numb joy. If you suppress fear, you may also lose sensitivity and intuition. You cannot selectively shut down just one feeling, just as you cannot choose to see only one color when you open your eyes. If you try to exclude a color from what you see, you will impair your vision as a whole.
So the goal is to let feelings flow freely and to be aware of them?
Yes. To be aware of them, to stay in contact with them, and to understand that all feelings are equally important, and that there is no such thing as a bad or negative feeling.
But people say you must express your feelings.
That's a common misconception. To feel a feeling is not the same as acting out what you feel. You can feel anger fully without turning it into aggression.
Is that true? So if I'm angry, I can try to pause and say to myself, I feel anger. And it is totally okay that I feel anger. But even if I allow me to be in contact with my anger, there is no need for me to be aggressive or act out just because I feel anger.
Indeed. And even, I'm allowed to be angry. That simple permission often prevents the urge to explode or act out.
So feelings shouldn't be solved or acted out, they should be recognized and truly felt?
Exactly. They are processed through presence, not through fixing or acting. Try this next time something uncomfortable appears. Imagine you are sitting on a bench beside a friend. Your friend is the feeling. You don't analyze your friend. You don't push them away, try to act them out, or solve them. You are simply there, present with them. Breathing and tuning into what your feeling wants to tell you. And being present with it, even if it is not something pleasant.
That image feels kind. Less like a battle or something to control.
And when it's less of a battle, your nervous system softens. And impulsive reactions often decrease on their own.
Sometimes I can't get in touch with what I'm feeling at all, because what I feel is so mixed up with my thoughts. But I feel clearly something in my chest or in my stomach, like a knot or a stone.
What you describe as a knot or a stone in your chest or stomach can be the best way to get in touch with what you are truly feeling, because your body is honest. Your body speaks to you through different sensations, and that is why you should not ignore what your body is trying to tell you.
So what should I do when my body is trying to tell me something, for example, when I feel tension in my stomach or something emotional in my chest?
When you notice something in your body, direct your attention to the place where you feel it, without trying to change it or fix it. You can ask yourself, what is my body, or this part of me, trying to tell me? At the same time, try to offer that place your warmest compassion and understanding, instead of trying to repair it or numb it with medication. Of course, medication can also be important, but don't use it as a way to ignore what your body is trying to tell you.
How is it? Could what I feel in my body be connected to my attitude and to what I'm thinking?
Absolutely. Take an interest in how your way of relating to things, and the way you think, might be connected to what you feel in your body. Often, a sensation in the body is a result or a reaction to a thought, or to something our thoughts believe is going to happen, or it is the body's way of signaling that we have overlooked a deeper emotional need.
Could it even be that my body is trying to protect me or take care of me?
In the past, intuition and bodily awareness were an essential part of survival. If something felt wrong, it was taken seriously. These days, many people live only in their heads, and the body has to raise its voice in order to be heard.
So bodily symptoms and sensations can be important messages, rather than just problems that need to be cured at any cost?
Sometimes, yes. Tension, a lump in the throat, stomach pain, headaches. In fact, almost any illness can be your alarm system saying, "Pay attention. Something may not have been noticed."
But people often seem to try to solve bodily sensations and symptoms with logic, or simply ignore them. Some are even so afraid of what their body is trying to tell them that they may take large amounts of medication just to silence the body.
Indeed. They might tell themselves, the doctor has to fix this or remove it, or they say, "I'm too sensitive. I just have to endure. I have no choice." And sometimes it is precisely these thoughts that leave the body with no other option than to try to speak more clearly.
So the question I need to ask myself is, Do I take myself seriously and listen to the vulnerable part of me that my body is trying to help or protect through the different bodily symptoms I experience? Or am I being guided by a thought that says I must, or I have no choice?
That is a powerful question. Because the more you believe in I must, or that you have no choice, the greater the risk that your thoughts, and the fear they generate, have power over your life and your health, rather than something more real and more true within you.
What about when my body reacts to a person? Like, they say loving things, but something feels off.
That's important. When someone's words and actions don't match, the body often senses it before the mind does. And those mixed signals can create inner confusion.
Why do we tend to ignore those signals?
Because we need connection and closeness. And when we feel that connection and closeness are threatened, we start to blame ourselves. We push our needs aside to avoid being rejected, but what we truly need cannot simply be switched off, as if we were turning off a light. And when we ignore what our body is signaling about something in another person's behavior that stands in the way of feeling connection and closeness, we begin to experience an inner tension or conflict. This often shows up as a sense of not feeling well in that person's presence, even if we are not always consciously aware of what that feeling is about.
So taking what my body is trying to tell me seriously is essentially an act of self-compassion, and in practice that may mean setting boundaries.
Indeed. Self-compassion can sometimes look like a boundary, an ability to say no. And if you don't protect yourself, nothing changes. Others cannot help you if you don't take your own emotional needs seriously. How about a small practice? If you feel discomfort in your stomach, chest, or throat, or wherever you feel something uncomfortable in your body, place your hand there. And say softly, "Thank you for caring about me. I do hear you. I'm here with you." No demands. No fixing. Just kindness, warmth, and loving compassion, like comforting a vulnerable child.
I'm not used to doing something like that, so it feels a little strange. But I have to admit, at the same time it feels very warm and caring.
Strange is okay. It simply means that you are not used to it.
Sometimes it's not just feelings. It's like inner voices. A demanding voice. A critical voice.
That's very human. Many traditions have recognized inner voices for thousands of years. Different voices often reflect how you learn to survive, and how the people around you related to you or to life itself.
So I'm not broken or sick if I have inner dialogue.
Not at all. It only becomes a problem if you are not aware, because then the voices can control you and have power over you and your life. Awareness turns those voices into information about yourself, and into different parts of yourself that you can use constructively and benefit from. You can then choose when it is helpful to be more demanding toward yourself, and when it is not.
How do I work with a harsh or demanding inner voice?
First, notice it. Then meet the demanding voice with maturity and compassion, and ask yourself, what is this inner voice trying to achieve? And who is it really serving? Often the voice is trying to protect you. Or you may have grown up with demanding people around you, and over time their voices have become part of your own inner dialogue. Try also to explore whether this voice is trying to protect you from feeling shame. But the important point is that even if it is trying to protect you, it doesn't actually help you.
So I can negotiate with it?
Indeed. And sometimes the body sensation is the doorway to see that voice. A tight stomach may be the body reacting to the demanding voice. So if you show kindness toward your stomach, or toward the symptoms you feel in your stomach, it can also help to soften the demanding voice that may be the cause of your physical symptoms.
So the summary is: feelings are not problems, they are signals. And if I listen to them, I become freer?
Yes. The more you meet what you feel with understanding, the less your body needs to shout. And the more you suppress, the stronger the bodily signals may become.
And the hard experiences, could they become valuable?
As we already discussed in relation to your attitude toward life, they certainly can do that if you dare to face what you are truly afraid of, and what you are really feeling deep inside. Instead of trying to stay superficially positive, run away from it, or avoid it. If you process your pain, you gain wisdom. If you avoid your pain, you may become bitter and superficial.
So the key is to stop.
Indeed. You cannot pause or stop too much. Allowing yourself a pause interrupts your autopilot, which makes it possible for you to get in much better contact with what you truly feel and need. And a pause also gives you an opportunity to choose and to act more consciously, and in that awareness you find your freedom.
I have to say, I feel calmer just hearing that.
Very good. Then this conversation has already made a real difference. In our next conversation, we can explore the individual core feelings and see what it actually means to accept them and be with them.
If you want to explore these topics more deeply, the Love Unconditionally series is available here on YouTube, completely free. We'd be grateful if you would like to leave a comment and give the video a thumbs up. Thank you for listening, and remember, when you can stay in contact with what you truly feel on a deeper level, you gain more freedom. See you in the next episode.